The worst road was going up into the country under the Serpentine, only because of the altitude.
Steepness?
Steepness.
Yeah. And some of the turns. It's just a road that...
Well, the steep turns. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but even like where we...
Whoa. Please don't hit us. Please don't hit us. Jesus Christ, dude.
Lock the video. Vanna's ready for a break, and so are we. But we just got into a new country, and so there's a couple things we got to do. Even though we just did them, we have to get new cell phone card for my phone, and then Bosnia has their own currency, and so we got to figure out how to get their money, what the exchange rate is, and all that stuff. But first, we kind of need cell phones so we can start Google searching. This is our little town right here across the river. The name of the town is Foca, F-O-C-A, and it's not a border town, and this is a really lesser traveled border crossing, so hopefully they'll have everything we need. All right, first order of business is bank. We got to get money, and we found a bank, so let's see if we can get in here. All right, some nice people at the bank line said I could get a SIM card over here at this convenience store, over here at this newspaper stand. I got one. It looks like it's Dopuna. I've never heard of this. It was 6 kms. I don't know what the conversion rate is, so we're gonna go put this thing in, see if we can figure out how to turn it on, and start searching the internet to do some research. Either that or we got to find some Wi-Fi to get this thing figured out. Oh boy, we haven't had to do this in a while.
Bosnia got off to a bit of a rough start when it came to getting our cell phones to work. So at each country, Curt gets a new SIM card and physically installs it into his phone. But I have a plan with a place called Airlo, and I have a plan that covers all of the EU, or Europe. It's supposed to cover all of Europe. And it's an electronic eSIM, so I don't have to have a physical SIM. And it's supposed to just kind of take effect. Well, first of all, we're in a small little city, kind of in a rural part of Bosnia. So it was difficult with the language barrier for Curt to find a place. But he finally did, thanks to some nice people in the ATM line.
So the deal is, I got a chip, $3 roughly, and it's 4 gigs of data, and it took me a little bit of finagling to get it on, but I got it activated.
Yep. And I walked to a little cafe so I could use their Wi-Fi to see why in the world mine wasn't working, because it didn't kick in. Come to find out, my eSIM covers literally every country in all of Europe except for Bosnia. So I had to go on and buy a Bosnia eSIM, and then I was good to go. So I have 20 gigs for $30, which is a little bit more expensive than Curt's, but it's kind of the convenience of being able to have it all done electronically and not having to find a physical SIM. So we're good to go. Curt also got us some, what are they called? Marks, we think. Bosnian money out of the ATM. Now we have to find a place to camp.
We just came around the corner, and it was one of those wowzer moments. Meh.
We have not even told you where we are taking you yet. This is Sujeska National Park, and it is supposed to be amazingly beautiful, and we are just now seeing our first sign where we're getting close to it, and it is stunning. The mountain views that are literally all around us. We're not just driving towards one big mountain peak. We are surrounded by beautiful mountain peaks. Some of them covered in snow, some of them not. Lots of green, new, fresh leaves on these trees, yellow flowers blooming. It is beautiful. So tonight we will get up there just in time to get settled in and sleep. We think we can camp in a little restaurant parking lot right next to a big memorial that's up here at this national park. But I am so glad we made the decision to drive out here to see this national park. It is really special, isn't it, Curt?
Crazy beautiful.
We've made it to where we're going to sleep. We have beautiful stuff all around us, but we're going to show you in the morning. We're going to get a good night's rest. Good morning from our restaurant in this national park in a restaurant parking lot. We had a good night's sleep, except for there's this little kitty that lives here, and he was definitely not happy about our kitties being here, but we managed to keep them separated. Now we're going on a fairly short walk this morning, but it's got a steep section, and we'll tell you about this place when we get up there. But it was cloudy this morning. The clouds are starting to break, and we really hope they do, because this valley is surrounded by beautiful mountains. We're making our way up to see a war memorial. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why they decided to build it right here. So it's World War II, so the 1940s. I don't remember the exact year. There were 18,000 troops that were stationed in this area. And they had a commander who was very well known, starting to make a name for himself. Well, the Germans and their allies decided they were going to come in here, prove a point, wipe out all 18,000 soldiers, and take the commander captive. It was a strategic move to kind of try to get control of this area. So they sent in almost 130,000 troops, backed up by 300 warplanes, to come in and basically wipe out 18,000 soldiers. Well, those 18,000 soldiers were right here in this valley, and they fought, I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks. Hard fighting. And they were successful in holding off the Germans. Now, they did lose a little over 6,000 of their soldiers, so about a third, and about 2,000 civilians died right here during that fighting. But the remaining soldiers and the commander that was the prized possession that the Germans were after managed to escape. Now, they may not have defeated the Germans, but their feat of 18,000 soldiers holding off 130,000 well-supplied soldiers with planes was pretty epic. So this war memorial is definitely deserved. Those were some brave fighters for sure. But now, as we go up there, there's a bunch of steps, and Curt has decided he's going to do his Rocky Balboa and try to run up them. I warned him not to hurt himself. Let's see how he does. He's going. He's humming the Rocky theme. He's slowing down. Oh, hands in the air. He's halfway there. I don't know if we're going to be able to see the very top. He's going. 2/3. Still got pep in his step. Oh, he's running. Oh, the pace is slowing. And there he is. You okay?
Start the video.
He made it 2/3 of the way. It was pretty darn good, though. You got to give him that, guys. All right, my pace up here is going to be much, much slower. Whew. It's quite a climb. Whew, oh boy, guys. I'm about to the point where Curt had to stop running. All right, let's go. The tour bus just pulled up. Maybe we can beat the crowd to the top. We'll see.
After the apocalypse, if we survive, what would be left over? And if we were swept under the water, won't you come find me so that we can find our peace together? What will become of what we've done after it's all over? What will shine through ashes and dust after all is settled? Can you see the billowing of smoke and the brimstone? They're a living testament to a downfall. Maybe we can lay right here together till the stars go dark. Nothing lasts forever, everything is transferred. Will we remember? What will become of what we've done after it's all over? What will shine through ashes and dust after all is settled? Go through the flames and you will see what you're made of. Its beauty remains and pierces through like a diamond, like a diamond.
All right, guys, we made it back to our camp spot, and this is where we stayed last night, and it turned out to be a nice, quiet place. There are bathrooms over there, which we did not use at the restaurant. And also, we managed to beat the tour buses today, just barely. But we got up and we flew the drone, and it was a really, really pretty monument and landscape.
Yeah, it's definitely a special place when you get up there and you get close to that monument. I really especially like the jagged edges that whoever the artist was, I wish we could find that out, had carved into it, and the way it's like the angel wings. It's just really beautiful. But I don't know, 18.
Well, also these mountains
it's
around
stunning
here in the background.
It's stunning, but when you're up there, what I keep remembering is 18,000 soldiers knowing 130,000 were coming for them, and they didn't turn and run. That they stayed and they fought. And one thing I didn't tell you before when I was giving you the history of this war area here is that was the turn, that battle. The Axis, the Germans and the Italians, the bad guys during that war, that was the turn of them losing control in this part of Europe. So not only is it the bravery of 18,000 soldiers staying and fighting what was sure to be a loss, but the fact that it kind of started the change in the war there. So it's a special place. This drive is
jaw-dropping.
Yeah. Like we're speechless. So we're just gonna find one of our favorite songs and let you guys see this with us, because our chins are just open wide. We're just in awe of what we're seeing. So here you go.
Follow
So we have left the national park where the war memorial was. Drive was incredible. It was on the Sudjeska National Park. And now we are westbound and we're headed to a little town that's supposed to be beautiful. We've heard from Curt's friend Tim from high school that has lived in Bosnia for years. He calls this the prettiest town in all of Bosnia. Now it's a little bit off the beaten path, so we're hoping it's not flooded with tourists. There's supposed to be a beautiful river and an old town. So that's where we're headed, and I'm sure I'm going to say it wrong, but for right now we're calling it Trebenhay. And as soon as you turn the corner, out of the blue, out of nowhere, it looks like there's a nuclear power plant here. And it just seems like such a crazy place. But I would say that over the past 20 minutes, we have gone through extremely different terrains, right, Curdy?
Yeah, this one right here, as you see down in the valley, it's just so flat, and we're headed down in there, and it is farmland, and there are a lot of sheep and pasture land down here.
Well, we're cruising along through this valley. Had to do a slowdown for the cows crossing the road.
We told you it was pasture land, but in this particular area, there's no fences. And I don't know if the cows got out or what, but they are definitely crossing the road. Woo, that was one absolutely delicious lunch. It was goulash, and it had chunks of beef in it. It was like the beef chunks were like cooked for like 8 hours or whatever. They just melted.
Yeah, it was like gravy-filled stew with no vegetables. It was so good.
The sauce, the gravy was out of this world. It was rich, it was creamy, it was beefy, it was something else, but it was good.
So it's not like a goulash you'd think of in the United States. There was nothing in it but meat, gravy, and a couple of little noodles.
They had some noodles in there. They
so
had
good.
delicious bread, which was great for sopping up the juice. It came with sides.
I got
Snow
rice.
got rice.
For sopping up the gravy.
I got my normal bad for me fried French fries, but Bavarian fries. Belgian fries.
Belgian fries. And we have learned something, we think, about Bosnia. We think it is the land of tiny drinks.
Tiny drinks. The little soft drinks. And by the way, that's all they mostly sell in these countries down here. And the soft drinks are either canned or in a bottle, and they're in the cooler. So that's what your drink options are. And as a car comes racing at us. But anyway, yeah, the drinks come in small little containers. The food here also we're finding to be cheaper than both Albania and Montenegro so far. Not sure, but it looks like it is. And also the fuel is about the same price as Montenegro. So $1 or €1.49 per liter, roughly.
So €6 a gallon.
Yeah, so that's kind of how things are going. First impression of Bosnia is what an absolutely breathtaking area.
Beautiful country.
Introduction to the country. The food's good, so we're really enjoying it, and we're off to see to the most beautiful city in the country. All right, you never know what's lurking around the next corner, but we came around the corner and traffic was almost stopped. I can't tell if it's a little farm tractor or what have you, but snow had to lock them up, and we're all good. But you never know what's around the next corner.
Curt rolled down the window to put the camera out to let y'all see the little tractor, and I instantly smelled something that didn't smell so great. Kind of reminded me of my days growing up around a farm. And then we passed the tractor, and he was carrying a truckload full of poop, manure.
We are rolling into the city, and it has a dramatic entrance. We come in, and I would say it's probably the city is about 1,000 to 1,500 feet below the road, so in the valley, and it's kind of on a flat spot, which is really kind of rare over here. A lot of times the cities push up the hills and the mountains, and so snow like this, you have to do a lot of uphill walking. Is it supposed to be down there?
Yeah.
What are you doing, kitty, 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 kitty? What you catching? What you catching under there, huh? We made it to our camp spot. Nice little quiet spot on the end of the road. They're building a couple houses up here, but no one lives in front of us. Beautiful views of the river. We have a nice monastery up the road and old-timey Ottoman bridge in the background. I can see little birds dipping down in the water and fish popping up. Nice area to walk the cats. This is gonna be a nice spot to overnight, guys.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!